All right, everybody. Today we're going to be interviewing Collective. A clan from Starbase is quite large. First question for y'all: how old exactly is the Collective, and how did it get its start?
So the collective is 7 months old, and it was founded by Archduke, and that was before I was even a member of the collective. Um, and then from being founded, it quickly went on to realize its goals with developing the first branch, which was research and development.
All right. That kind of answers the second question of who founded the clan, since you did mention Archduke. Can you describe how the leadership structure and the hierarchy works for the Collective?
So I'm gonna answer that one. Aries Everhart, one of the higher ups in R&D. Uh, the collective operates sort of like a traditional large-scale information technology company. You have your board of executives, which is just about quite a few people in this interview here, and then you have the leaders of respected teams under that, and all the way down to subroutines. So employees, quote unquote, who contribute to the cause gain merits or brownie points that superiors take into account when rewarding subroutines. Subroutines who display exceptional skill levels while remaining active become candidates for promotions in their respective fields. In short, subroutines who put forth the time, effort, and display any level of skill have opportunities for advancement.
All right. How would you describe the overall theme for the clan, and how'd you guys come to get to that theme?
The collective has always done well to market its purpose. It picked a single identity and ran with it. It so happens the fans of Starbase also really like hive minds and robotic societies. Add in some automation, HAL 9000, Ruiner, and you have a really nice blend that solidified the conceptual image of the collective. Who knows if in another setting it would have done well. Outside of that, we have always advertised to those who feel they have the skills that need somewhere to manifest. And to that, we've seen the fruits of our labour, with the website and different YOLO features being worked on.
All right, cool. So collective so far is in the upper echelon as far as how big a clan is, and when we step back and look at clans and Starbase as a whole, how exactly did collective achieve that in such a short amount of time? As you said, it was only founded about 7 months ago, yet it is larger than a lot of clans that have existed for years. What are some of your like? Are you willing to disclose some of those trade practices and how y'all got that big, or is it just a simple gravity that y'all were the first larger clan there, and it's kind of the snowball effect? How would you describe it?
I'll do this one. My name's Goose. I haven't introduced myself yet, but that's me. So a lot of the reason I think we got bigger so quickly in such a small amount of time relatively to the other Starbase groups is, well, we were there from the start in just like the peak growth of the hype of Starbase for one, and two, I just there's a lot of hard work was put in, like an extreme amount of just in the background setup that I think a lot of our lower members still don't know about to this day of just documents and overhauls and remasters and just getting things right for what we thought our members would enjoy and just getting a good media and lore behind collective so we would gain more visibility so the word would spread faster. We produce memes. We have a meme church. It's sort of like a propaganda machine that just spits out, things for our faction to get our name out. It's really not been easy. It takes a lot of effort to maintain our public image. Archduke and Harmonic has done a great job of just showing us as, we're not. A lot of people say we're the Borg. That's not at all what we're trying to be. We are, of course, one of the founding members of Lodestar. We try to be diplomatic as possible. I just want to make sure that's solidified that we are not trying to be an evil faction. If anything, we are neutral.
All right, and you did mention Lodestar. I know Archduke, same as myself, are one of the founding members of Lodestar. So, in your own words, how would you personally describe Lodestar's formation from Collective's point of view and its overall role in that? And really, what I'm wanting to get at is how's that affected Collective's approach to clans, like inside and outside of Lodestar, and all that good stuff?
Well, the collective traditionally is very isolationist. You know, we just want to do our own thing and be self-sufficient. So being a part of Lodestar doesn't really fit within that purpose. But looking at how big other factions are in other games, we kind of knew that model's not going to work. So that's why we looked at forming Lodestar, and then with that, it then becomes the best chance of survival for any clans, more so the collective. I would say the collective takes the responsibility of guiding Lodestar in the right direction very seriously. Lodestar not only ensures the collective survival, but also the survival of multiple other factions, hoping to do great things in Starbase.
All right. And how would you describe your current political environment that Collective sees it in? And more specifically, who all would you say are potential adversaries right now in Starbase? We all know the clans who are enemies against basically everyone. So I don't mean those in particular. I'd like to set those aside because that would be the easy cop out. So what would there be anyone outside of that category that would have tension between y'all's clans enough to consider slagging the ships if they drifted too close for too long, or anything of that nature, of just people that y'all just don't like? Maybe even just, paint their ships pink if they float too close for too long. Maybe not just destroy them, uh, just don't like each other.
Um, I'll go ahead and take this one. The collective is a well oiled machine geared towards the objective of technological advancement. This does not mean that we will not defend ourselves as necessary. We do not view any factions currently as our adversaries. However, that this is not to say that we as a faction have not done an extensive review on every faction currently on the faction list and have a plan of action for every possible diplomatic scenario.
All right, so like as you said with the isolationist thing and with that statement, y'all are aiming to try and be more stay out of conflicts so that you can focus on technology, correct?
Correct. Yes.
All right, and throw a few oddballs here since I feel like we got a little bit of time. You did say you are prepared to defend and all that good stuff. How would you describe the current military status for Collective? How would you think it's up to par and ready to go, or still needing some growth?
So we can't actually say how our strength is because the game hasn't really come out yet. Nobody has an infrastructure up.
However, I'm the military leader of Collective. I
Yes.
can put out some information maybe that would help. As Ari said, the game isn't out, so we have no idea how our current systems are going to stand up to the absolute chaos that release is going to be. But we do have some very, I don't, let me see if I can phrase it without releasing just a bit too much. So I've developed with a team in the military branch a system of, I like to call it freeform development, which means that people can group up with themselves and still go off and do their own thing. Like, like you and a couple friends get on Saturday night after work or Friday, you're tired, you just get on with a couple friends, get a guy, a couple of them, make a squad, go out. You would have a goal that you would follow and you would act on that goal, and that goal would persist over a group of units or further, is about as much as I can say without revealing anything. Um, and I think that is going to be a big booster to our military. Right now, our submatrix is the largest in collective. I think that's also can speak a lot for our military power. Um, Personally, since I would say I don't want to be a offensive military. I want to be a defensive military. Since we're very isolationist and focusing on technology, I don't think we should be out and about trying to blow everybody up and just making enemies. It doesn't seem right. I want to foster the community, help it grow. I don't want to be the guy that brings it down.
All right. Kind of like a combo question for both you, Aries, and Gustav. So y'all are focusing on technology. However, as you just said, Goose, that your military subroutine is pretty much the largest. Does that affect what technologies are being developed in any way, or drive them in a certain direction, or is there any specific things that y'all are looking to, any specific fields that y'all are, specifically wanting to master before others?
So typically, we actually have our own departments for both military and civilian design. Almost a lot of our designs might actually go up on the market depending on if we have civilian versions of those designs. However, there is no real priority until we see a need that there is a priority for something. We have a list of priorities right now. However, they are all going to be developed almost at the same time, simultaneously.
And just to add on that, so I'm Battle F and I'm in charge of like the logistics of the collective. So it's going to be, kind of on my shoulders to make sure that we have a functioning and working logistics chain to make everything happen. So in there, we have our own internal civilian, like concept and design. But outside of that, we have our design, which is ours, our R&D, and that is purely like exploration technologies. So we have two branches that are going to focus on means tested technologies, things we need here and now, and then we have the department for research and development that can, they have the time and the resources just to do long term technology development. So we have these like three different levels of operations of, are we getting shot at? Do we need more defenses, or a whole new engine design in 3 months' time?
Yeah, and also, just speaking from a military standpoint, we also have an engineering core that focuses directly on engineering and works hand in hand with R&D on producing military-themed designs, so that the rest of R&D can focus on what it does best.
All right, I think that about wraps it up. I think thank y'all for joining me today.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
No, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no problem. And that was Collective. I'm going to put their Discord link in the description below. Y'all should be sure to check them out. And that's all I got for this video. See you.